All right, welcome to Rochester.
Yes.
How do you feel?
I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel great. Got here yesterday, checked in, had a shakeout, doing all the media stuff today, all the photo stuff, so it's been good.
You getting used to it at this point? Like the UFC version of how a fight week works?
Yeah. It depends. Like some events, like you have more stuff to do than others, so it really just depends.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the good thing about Invicta is you do similar stuff, maybe not to the extent that the UFC does, so it kind of like prepares you for that in a way. So it's
like the trial run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Talk to me about the last fight. I mean, I know, hey, a win is a win, and a first UFC win is a first UFC win. You're always going to have that, but I'm sure not the exact way you wanted it to go down.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, our team feels like we had like a really good win taken from us. But like you said, a win is a win. I think like the fans and like the way that the media kind of, I guess, described it, I feel like they kind of took the win from me. And I get it. It's like a really weird circumstances, but at the end of the day, like there's not much I can do. The win is on my record, and we've said multiple times that we'd, offer the rematch. And as far as I'm aware, the UFC are waiting on Kat to get back to them when she's ready.
So you think down the line that fight's going to happen again?
If that's what she wants.
Yeah.
We offered a lot, and I know Mick asked a few times, but every time he asked, she essentially said, "I'm not ready. Like I'll let you know when I'm ready." So, like I'm not going to wait around forever. So I'm going to take a fight.
I'm sure your fighter mentality is that, hey, it didn't matter if it was stopped then. If we would have kept going, I would have found a way to beat her no matter what.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's how you should be. It was just unfortunate the way that it kind of went about, but we were ready to put on a great performance and showcase a lot of our skills, which we weren't able to do, which kind of benefits us. Like a lot of people there's a lot of questions about me as a fighter, coming from my my first fight to my second to third now. So I think a lot of people are going to be are going to have a lot of questions answered.
In this fight, you're saying?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Well, tell me about this matchup, because it's kind of a cool one. I mean, we get, the last two Invicta 145 champs. It's kind of like this interesting little pseudo title fight, right?
Yeah, and I don't think the UFC have had former title champs or former Invicta champions fight before. So, not only, which I think is really cool. And not only did I kind of make history when I fought Kat with being the first featherweight fight in the UFC that wasn't a title fight, I'm now making it again against the first actual featherweight that hasn't fought lower than the weight class. So I think it's a really, really good fight for the division.
Tell me about what you thought when they called you and said this is what the matchup was, and like, had you followed much of what she had done over there just because of who she was and that she was kind of coming up behind you?
Yeah, I obviously, I watch Invicta and I go to a lot of the Invictas, and, knowing she won the belt, and the fight before that, when she fought Helena Kolesnik, I was in the crowd because it was in Kansas City, and she called me out. We kind of had a thing. So like I have known of Felicia for a while. And yeah, we got the call. We're just like, hey, let's go, because we were pretty much hounding Mick for a while, being like, Megan wants to fight. So he was trying to find someone, and we finally did.
Do you think it'll start to get a little easier going forward, in the weight class, and that you won't have to hound him as much?
I hope so. I hope so.
I mean, you need the players.
I
right?
like when I met him and I spoke with him in Wichita because I was there for one of our guys, Grant Dawson. He was fighting on that card as well, and I was like, probably so sick of me going like, oh, Megan wants to fight. Megan wants to fight every week, but. You know, I'm hoping like with the signing of more featherweights that we're able to fight more regularly.
What do you make of kind of the division right now as a whole? I mean, obviously you've got the champ who's got 2 belts and she's got to go down, and it sort of puts things a little bit on hold. But at the same time, it feels like, you know, the lack of depth in the division can give somebody like you a quicker path to a title shot with just a couple, 2-3 wins, right?
Yeah. It is a very interesting landscape right now in the featherweight division. I think the biggest question that needs to be asked is Amanda going to defend her belt at 145? If she is, that's awesome. If she's not, then like we need to come up with a plan going forward, because like the division has already kind of taken so long to be developed that like I think it's a little, I guess, unfair to wait around for a year or a year and a half when she decides, oh, I don't want to defend my featherweight belt anymore. Like, it's already been put back enough. Like, let's just make a decision and go forward. I think it's really hard. I think by the UFC signing featherweights, I'm hoping that people stop trying to cut to bantamweight. Because that's really frustrating, particularly when they have a tough show specifically built for building the 145-pound division, and none of them are staying at 145 pounds. Like, it's frustrating as someone who doesn't have that option. You know, 145 is the lowest that I can physically go. So it gets frustrating when you have these girls that are like, yeah, I want to build the division. I want to build a division. Oh, wait, I'm not. I'm going to go to bantamweight. I don't have that option. So, yeah, I am passionate about it. And I think it's kind of bullshit. But, you know, we got to make do with what we've got. And hopefully moving forward, it's going to look better. Can
you kind of take that as a badge of honor and be like, hey, these girls, they don't want to be at 145 because I'm here, so they want to head back down?
I don't know. I think everybody is at a different point in their career, and you know, if bantamweight is the right decision for them, that's fine. But it also then makes it tough again trying to build a division where the girls don't want to stay in that division. I honestly felt like the women that they did sign from the Ultimate Fighter, that they should have forced them to stay at featherweight at least for X amount of fights, and then if they wanted to drop, so be it. But I don't know. I think it's bullshit, and I think it's a bad look for as a competitor. If you don't feel like you can compete at a weight class, so you have to try and drop and get whatever advantage it is that you think that you have in a lower weight class. If you honestly believe that you are the best in the world, then it doesn't really matter.
Tell me about Saturday night and how you get it done. I mean, she's got some nice wins, but I think the argument could be made that she hasn't been in there against the level of opponent that you are, and against the level of opponent that you fought in your past 2 or 3 fights. Yeah,
definitely. You know, Felicia brings really good skills to the table, and we're excited to, you know, shut that down. I know, you know, I've been in her position, debuting in the UFC, wanting to make a statement, wanting to introduce yourself to, you know, new fan base. So I know she's going to come out strong, she's going to come out hard, but I don't think she's going to be hard to find. Like you said, the discrepancy in the level of opponents is kind of, it can be a little bit interesting, because you don't really know how she is going to go against top competition, but I have no doubt that she's going to bring it, and that's what I love. I know that she's not going to be scared to fight me, which is great, because I do really well against people like that. And you know, she is undefeated, but you have to kind of think, you know, 4 of those wins were against people making their pro debut, or they only had 1 fight. So the level of competition is definitely significantly different, and I'm sure she's going to come out strong, which is I love that. But I think people are going to see pretty quickly that there is a big difference between the levels from Felicia and I.